say I won't kill. You don't have to kill to rule here. Don't have to die to be free. You don't have to die to be free. Just reach out with love to you and me. You don't have to die to be free. You don't have to cry to get love. You don't have to war to get peace. You don't have to kill to rule hate. You don't have to die to be free. You don't have to cry to get love. You don't have to cry to get love. Just reach out your arms and ask for love. Don't have to cry to get love.
No holding back the power in this room right now, rising up as a force of love so high it can't come down. Every soul is a soul on fire, burning bright with the light of life. Here we are, open wide, there's no place we can hide. We sing out, we sing in the world I made. God, in every breath I take, joy in my day, joy in my day. Love in the words I say, peace in the world I made. God, in every breath I take, joy in my day, joy in my day. We are lifted up. We are lifted up. We are lifted up higher. We are lifted up. We are lifted up. We are lifted up higher. Love in the words we say, peace in the world we make. God, in every breath we take, joy in our day, joy in our day. Love in the words we say, peace in the world we make. God, in every breath we take, joy in our day, joy in our day. God, in every breath we take, our day. We are lifted up. Joy in my day. We are lifted. Every word I say. We are lifted. In the world I made. Joy in my day. We are lifted up. We are lifted up. We are lifted up higher. We are lifted up. We are lifted up. Joy. We are lifted up. Joy in my day. Love is alive in the space between us. Feel that love right now. God speaks out in the words between us. Hear those words right now. I am holy. You are holy. There is beauty between us. shines in the light between us. See that light right now. Peace is born in the good between us. Be that peace right now. I am holy. You are holy. There is beauty between us. Between us. Faith is the bond that we share between us. Hold that faith right now. Truth is the life in the breath between us. Live that truth right now. We are holy. We are holy. We are holy. We between us. Love is alive in the space between us. Love is alive between us. I've heard it said that we're small and alone on our path, but my mind is set on a life greater than that, and my heart is open wide.
Good morning. We are grateful to have Seth Larson and Steve Larson with us today. They always bring such fabulous energy to our service. And welcome to Unity Columbine Spiritual Center, where, centered in God, we celebrate a world of harmony, peace, and abundance for all. Please stand for our first joy song.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Hey! Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Every song I sing, I'm gonna let it shine. Every song I sing, I'm gonna let it shine. Every song I sing, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Hey! All around this world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around this world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around this world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
And speaking of shining, let's bring up the shiniest people we have, our children. Come on up. We'll hear a little bit about what they're going to be doing today, and then we will bless them out and stand for our second joy song.
Thank you. This is the time that all the kids can come up. Thank you for coming up. Nice. It's nice to help each other come up. So, Gabe, do you want to come up? If you want. Yeah. Sometimes they don't want to come up, and that's okay too. So, a couple things that I wanted to say. So, downstairs today, we're going to listen to Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech. And we're going to do some work around that. And just, it's a really incredible week, I think, just focusing on that. So we're going to do some of that. And then I'm also wanted to just put out to the congregation and families that Prosperity Plus is a program that we put on here. And it starts, is it on the 20th? January 22nd is when it starts on Wednesday nights. It's a program that really changed my life about 10 years ago. And when I took it, our featured family can come on up too. You can just stand anywhere. When I took it, what it did for me, it's a different way of thinking and helping you live your life in a different way. And again, changed my life. I actually ended up quitting the job that I had and starting my own farm-based preschool after that. powerful, unbelievable, life-changing. I recommend it highly to anybody. I've taken other prosperity classes because they have different ones, but we're starting with the prosperity one. So again, anyone that's interested, the information is on the website, it's on the app. You can talk to any of us on staff, and I highly recommend it. So, and then there was another thing I was going to talk about. I'm trying to think of what it was. Maybe just introduce our featured family. Hi, guys. Want to just introduce yourself? Sure.
Hello. Hi. My name is Devin, and yeah, we live in Erie. I'm a speech therapist for the community. I work with adults, mostly elders in the community, and yeah, this is my daughter.
I'm Piper. I'm 12 years old, and I'm in 7th grade, and I go to middle school at Aspen Ridge Prep School.
Thank you, featured family. I really appreciate that. So I think you can bless us out. We're ready.
You ready to sing a little bit more? Here we go! Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride. If I have things you need to borrow, for no one can fill those of your needs that you won't let show. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'd understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean. Call on me. You just call me when you need to call me. Just call me when you need a friend. Whoa, call me when you need a friend. Whoa, call me. Call me.
It's obvious that a lot of you know that song. The sound was really full and rich. And I was thinking that we're not just calling on our friend, but we're also calling on our own wisdom inside and our connection to the divine. So that's a perfect segue into our meditation time. So this is the time when we get a little bit quieter, and we will have music, and then Reverend Sue will lead prayer and meditation.
Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
And so I invite you all into a time of prayer with me. Gently close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so, and take a few deep breaths. And when we return to the breath, I'm able to return to knowing who I am. And with the breath, I can know that love's presence is here, all around me, in the midst, in this sanctuary. Wherever I walk is holy ground, whenever I can come back to myself, when I can remember who I am. And so with this sweet spirit within me, I am able to remember that. Remember that I am divine as well as human. I tap into my power of faith that ability to trust, that ability to believe without having seen physical evidence, that ability to know that all is possible when I remember who I am. And with the Om is the sacred sound. It means all. All there is spirit. All there is love. All there is. And I am part of all there is. And grateful for that awareness. Om. Om. On holy ground, as each of us is. We hold that sense of being on holy ground for every prayer request in our prayer box and every name and every circumstance that is on our prayer list. We hold that place of Om for everyone affected by the LA fires. Holding them with love and knowing that somehow the best will come. We hold that Om, all sacred, knowing who we are. And so I want to invite you into a time of stillness with me, a time where we allow ourselves to align with that part of ourselves that already knows this. That Om part of us, that sacred part of us. Let's rest together in the silence.
we learned that the theme today was resilience. Something that I will be teaching my daughters the best I can. And when I heard that word, a song came to my mind that a friend wrote over 20 years ago when she learned her mom was diagnosed with breast cancer and the outcome wasn't looking favorable at the moment. And as she traveled from where she was to the island on which her mom lives, she wrote this song called Give Me the Strength. I can barely lift up my head off this pillow. I can barely breathe through my lips. I can barely see. Deep across this lonely harbor, I am home. How can I ever find tomorrow buried in this foggy grave? Give me the strength. Give me the strength. Give me the strength. Give me the strength. Sailors fly along this harbor. I wonder if they know of the coldness that's inside me, all bottled up again. And I sit inside of myself, the empty space. How is it that I am lonely and surrounded by these faces? Give me the strength. Give me the strength. Give me the strength. Give me the strength. In this dark night waits beside me, uncomforting. The silence at the center of my drowning. My dreams, they bring me warning. Yes, they always let me know, oh, what to expect from the morning. Oh, another lonely day. Give me the strength. Give me the strength. Give me the strength. Give me the strength. Oh, oh, give me the strength. Oh, give me the strength. Oh, give me the strength. Give me the strength. Thank you.
Thanks, Steph. I have a son-in-law named Steph. Seth and Steve, thank you so much. That was beautiful. Strength. I am so happy to be introducing a guest speaker this morning. I had a really nice, relaxing weekend. Reverend Dr. Heather Shea is with us. She is an ordained interfaith minister. This spring, she moved to Boulder from New York. And in addition to ministering to a congregation and community in Manhattan, she hosted a program on Unity Radio titled Open Heart Conversations, inviting listeners to learn about and connect with the world's spiritual traditions. Heather has 2 fabulous daughters, is an author who has coached leaders throughout 6 continents, including household names in business, politics, and entertainment. She is also a certified animal communicator, clinical hypnotist, and energy work practitioner. So lots of creds. So please welcome Reverend Dr. Heather Shea.
Good morning. Hello. Well, it's so nice to be here this morning. I'm very excited and very grateful. Thank you. And I'm glad you had a nice weekend and some rest. I thought of you this morning. I thought, probably have some nice cup of coffee, taking it easy. Yeah. And me, I was panicked. But anyway, it's great to be here. And, as we started looking at welcoming in 2025, I was thinking, it's only 11 days ago that we were all celebrating. Around the world, fireworks, champagne, cheers, hope, happiness, 2025, it's a new year, how exciting. First picture. January 1st is my cat Nemo. He's looking at me like, Mom, do I have to come out? Do you remember the past couple of years? I think this year is going to be any different? And then, of course, there's Fenway. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It's a new year, how exciting, more treats and fun. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, me, I was somewhere in the middle. Like many of you and millions of people around the world, last Sunday, I sat on my couch and I watched the Golden Globe Awards. And there we had stars, celebrities, we had famous people, and not as famous people, waiting to see who was going to bring the award home. 2 days later, I was sitting on my couch with millions of people around the world, with stars, with famous people, with not so famous people, wondering if they would have a home to go home to. Last week, actually earlier this week, Tuesday, one of my friends wrote, "It's a beautiful sunny morning here in LA. It's gorgeous, it's typical. We're so excited. 2024 is over, 2025 is coming in." She had pictures of her horses in the ranch, all beautiful, excited, dreaming about the possibilities of 2025 in the year to come. That afternoon she posted, "We're still safe." The next post was, "We're packed and we're evacuating." I will say the next post was, "We're safe." So, what we were thinking about, what am I going to talk about? It's the new year, isn't it exciting? Let's talk about hope, happiness, forget about resolutions, and plans. But what are we going to talk about? I thought, well, one of my favorite topics is resilience. Resilience. So, what is resilience? It's a weird word we bounce around a lot. So, I like looking it up. And it really comes back to the words of coming back, of resilience, of like zillions, like somersaults, coming back. We go backwards and then we come forward. But according to the Webster Dictionary, first definition, the capacity of a strained body to recover its size and shape after deformation caused especially by a compressive state. Well, that sounded depressing. Okay, so according to the government, resilience refers to the ability to successfully adapt to stressors, maintaining psychological well-being in the face of adversity. Yeah, I kind of like that. That's better. How about the Cambridge Dictionary? The ability to be happy and successful again after something difficult or bad has happened. And that's the one I like, the ability to bounce back better. I don't know if you all remember 2020. 2020 was a great year for me. It started out great. You know, I was running this very large theater, Upper New York, but it's part of Broadway. Big church, had a great family, a gorgeous house. Everything was fine. Nemo was doing terrific. And then COVID hit. And New York closed down theaters and churches. I got breast cancer. They said I had 3 months to live. I'm still here. But my former husband was killed in a biking accident, hit by a car, killed instantly. And my sister and my cat got sick. And there was a big water main that broke in front of the house. I had to move. And so what I had to do is just face reality. So what happened, there was a little bit of hope, is that the government changed and we could have 50 people come into our theater. Now, we had 3,650 seats. Hard to fill that up, even on a good day. You know? But what we did is that we were able to go online, and by going online, I was able to keep everybody employed, and we were one of the few theaters and churches to stay open during that time in Manhattan. Many of them still have not opened. But we started doing like you did, going online, which was actually a blessing for me because I could do services and things from home while I was recovering. And we began to do and produce shows because, again, we're in New York. So we were able to produce a Christmas carol that we offered to other regional theaters across the country so that they could offer a Christmas carol and actually get revenue during the holidays. So we're trying to figure out how to make this all work. I went through my process. My sister got Nemo a vet. We've all recovered, thank goodness. We had to do the funeral and the family things and the estates. I had to find a new house, and it went on, and we go on, and we acknowledge reality, and we get on with it. And here I am in Boulder, and I love it. My sister's in Denver, so I'm closer. My kids love to ski, so they come out to visit me. Nemo's doing great. Fenway, of course, is doing great. And my health is great, and I have this wonderful community now. So I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful to you, Reverend Sue. I'm very grateful to everyone here for welcoming me to this community. Now I go to see theater. I don't have to run it. Thanks to Reverend Sue, I'm able to speak in front of a church again and be involved in the community. So I'm very grateful. Well, anytime you start... I lost... All right. Somehow, we knew this would happen. I move a lot. All right, better? All right. Somehow, when you start talking about resilience, you start talking about the brain. Rick Hansen is well known for the field of resilience. Okay. And it all goes back, and Nemo, resilience. At some point, you have to start coming out, whether you want to or not. You come out kind of gradually, one paw at a time. And it starts, with this whole thing of the brain, and I'll take you back to sort of middle school science, which was a nightmare, so we're not going to stay there very long. But you may recall the amygdala, and this is that fight, flight, or freeze. It took us about 600 million years to develop that. In the past 50 million years, we've developed the frontal cortex, which is more about safety. Do I have a house? Being satisfied. What do I want? What do I like? What are my desires? And then society and connection. So the way that Dr. Hansen sort of summarized it, in a sense, we're walking around a zoo inside our body. To push the metaphor, it's as if we are an inner lizard, we have an inner lizard freezing or fleeing from danger, a mouse sniffing about for cheese, and a monkey looking for a tribe. So that's kind of how our brain works. And we go from there to starting to think. So how do we want to think through? So what's true is that change happens, regardless. Sometimes I keep forgetting, everything's fine, nothing's going to happen, whoomp. And it only takes a minute for change to happen. We lose a job, we lose a friend, we lose a house. There's technology, there's governments change, there's fires, there's floods. Things change. And it can change in an instant. January 2nd, one of my friends let her friends know that the love of her life had died. 12/23, he transitioned. And they were that kind of super couple that you see, that you know, you love. They could be a whole movie about them. They were always together. They're dynamic. And as you might imagine, she was devastated. And she posted this poem. Now, one of those resilience things, I left my other glasses at home, so I'm going to come over here discreetly, or not so discreetly. Next slide. So we get into a place of grief sometimes, and it's important to feel that grief. And we stay there as long as we need to. And what's important while we're there is noticing that our thinking is not that good. Because remember, we're talking about the thought and now how our brain works. And when we're depressed, it's almost like being in the basement and it's dark. And you know how sometimes if you're in the basement or the basement of a building, there's weird sounds and it might smell funny and you can't see very much? So sometimes when we're depressed, our thinking is not good. And as we start moving out of depression, we might move into blaming each other or blaming others. Oh, my boss was an idiot, that's why I lost my job. Oh, it's the government. Oh, there wasn't enough water. And so we try and figure out what's going on. Or it was excuses. I don't want to go back to work. Oh, the technology changed. Oh, the climate's changing. And then many of us get into this area of wait and hope. It is stunning to me how many people that are diagnosed with a disease don't take any action. They're just waiting and hoping. And how many times did you hear this week of people, well, I'm just waiting in my house, just waiting for the fire to come, without taking action? It's easier to wait and hope for a while. But at some point, we have to acknowledge reality and get on with it. And when you start acknowledging reality, it starts becoming fun. Then you become curious and go, well, I guess I'm not going back to that house. Where am I going? Guess I'm not going to get that job. Where am I going? And you start finding solutions. And that really becomes fun. And finally, you own it and you get on with it. Next slide. Back to Nemo. But you got to remember, because he's looking back, as we're going forward, you want to remember what you've been through. And you don't fill up that empty spot, you take it with you. So you remember what you had, and you keep going forward. So how do you do it? Okay, great. Heather, it sounds great. How do we move forward? Well, all you need is love. And you begin with L. Loving kindness. Sound familiar to anybody? Loving kindness? Yeah, we know a little bit about that, don't we? Yeah. Loving kindness with yourself. First, start with yourself. Take care of yourself. Remember my old friend, delusion? Let's be real about what's going on in our life. Let's start with ourselves. Let's be kind to ourselves. And then be loving kindness to each other. Stand by me. I'm here. You've got a friend. We've been having that message this morning. We have others that care about us. We don't have to do it alone. And if you remember in Love and Kindness, part of the teaching, one of the first ones was grace and having grace, which is the O in love for me, is the oneness. And remembering that we are all one. We are all connected. The God in me is the God in you. It is all about the universe, universal love, if you want to call it God, goddess, oneness. And it's a time to really come into ourselves and connect with the divinity of who we are and the divinity around us. And grace. And knowing that everything's going to be okay. We don't know how it's going to happen, but somehow we're going to have manna. We're going to eat. We're going to find that home. And we're going to move forward. And the V becomes vision. Now what? Now what? I looked at my life and I went, well, I don't really have a house. I don't really have a reason to stay in New York. I don't have a lot of things, but what I have is possibility, so I'm going to move to Boulder. Going to be closer to my sister. And you start thinking about, what else can I be doing? I had more time to work with animals. I've always loved animals. Whoever knew at this point in my life, I'd be working with leaders and world leaders and still working with cats and dogs and horses and parrots and anything else that crawls around. And still people. So life changes. But you have to have that vision of how do I go, where to go. And you know what? Then it becomes E. It becomes exciting. Like, wow, imagine the possibilities. Think what I can do now. And you have to remember the E, the energy. It always goes back to this. Somehow it always ends up with you have to exercise and eat right, but this enthusiasm that moves you forward. This morning, I get this daily message that I really love. And this morning's message was, don't forget to water your dreams today. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Eleanor Roosevelt. And some of you may know, at the funeral of her husband, as she walked away, she commented and said, well, my work is over now. Then she got a call from Harry Truman, who said, hey, would you like to work at the UN? And you may know she became an ambassador. She traveled the world. She worked in social change. She worked in creating the Declaration of Human Rights, and she was off and running. And she's mostly remembered for her time after the time that she said, my work is done. Remember, this week, we do remember Jimmy Carter. His presidency may not be remembered as the world's best president for that time frame, but the time after that, He's noted as a humanitarian for the work that he did with peace, negotiations, global health, and literally rebuilding the world for Habitat for Humanity with his own bare hands involved, picking up the wooden nails himself. So sometimes when you think it's over, it's just beginning. And so what you need to do is get it all together and rise up and take a stand. You can jump higher than you ever thought. And then keep going. Take that energy and fly. And then remember, we can't do it alone. You don't have to, and you can't, and you don't need to. I love this book, Resilience, a children's book. And as we were talking this morning, it's important to teach our children resilience. And it's important for us to teach and remind ourselves about resilience. And remember, you're feisty, powerful, brave, and unique. I know you can be whatever you seek. Believe in yourself and know you are strong. If you ever feel down, don't stay there too long. I love you so much. I'm here for you. I trust you in all that you do. You're kind, you're daring, you're resilient and smart. A courageous warrior with a beautiful heart. Thank you. Happy New Year.
When you said, love is all you need, my dad and I looked at each other and smiled because the lyrics of the chorus of this next song is love is all you ever really need. It's fun when those things line up. I see you walking all alone, pretending like you're talking on your telephone, and feeling scared to the bone that no one's ever gonna love you for the you that you know. Some people, they can be so mean, using words like a weapon in a crime scene over and over and over again. It's why it's so good to have a good friend, somebody you can speak your mind to, somebody who ain't trying to define or confine you, but only there to remind you of the light that you bring every day and every night to a world that needs it. You're the one that can lead, so lead it. And everyone will believe that love is our life, so let's feed it. Love is all you ever really need. Love is all you ever really need. We got to feed the soul. That's why we got hip-hop and rock and roll. That's why we go dancing and lose control. It's why everybody came out to the show. It's why we wake up in the early morn just to catch a sunrise when the day is born, or stay up at night after the sun goes down just to see the moonlight and the stars all around. It surrounds us every second, every hour, when it fills us up with the super love power of connection. It's perfection, like everybody moving in the same direction. Correction, it's more like flying all together now, no trying. You need a hug, 'cause I'm supplying. Love is alive, no denying. Love is all you ever really need. Love is all you ever really need. And now I think it's time to drop a little later away. The kind that makes you wanna let it go and celebrate. The kind that makes you wanna leave it out on the floor. The kind that makes you sweating as you're coming back for more. 'Cause everybody grooving and they're moving to the music, and they're doing what they love, and so they're loving what they're doing. Everybody all around is having fun and getting down with Columbine unity and something on the crowd. Love is all you ever really need. Won't you sing it with us? Love is all you ever really need. Oh, love is all you all you ever really need. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, Reverend Shea, for the lovely message. Lots to think about today after the music and the message. So please say with me our purpose statement. We commit to increasing our spiritual awareness, diversifying our community, manifesting our highest potential, and positively impacting the world. And there are many ways that we can individually and collectively impact the world. One of those ways is through our financial sharing. So this is the time when we invite you to participate in that way. And we have offering bags that make their way through the sanctuary, as you well know. There are also online ways to do it, which many of us prefer to do so that we remember every time. And those you can see up on the screen. But one of the other things that I invite you to do is, as the bag passes by you, if you've made a contribution in a different way besides dropping it in today, place your hand over and just bless what you've sent and shared and what others are sharing. So let's say our offering blessing together. God's love has always met and will always meet all my needs. I give freely, I receive abundantly, and I am grateful. And we are grateful also for the technology that allows us to have our visitors online with us for our service. So let's give them a wave. They tell me that they just love feeling included in this way. And yes, we always want to acknowledge our our production team up there. And also, if this is your first time visiting or first time in a long time, please join us in Foss Hall afterwards, and we want to welcome you. Okay, let's jump into our logistics, our announcements. So Columbine is growing. You've seen different signs of that. And we are looking at having 2 services. So Linda Hurst from our Board of Trustees is going to share with you a little bit more detail about this.
Just the facts. I'm only giving you the facts. As you can see, a survey went out, and it was mostly positive about moving to 2 services. The final survey, am I okay? Went out on Friday morning. So check your email if you want to make more comments. We had 94 respondents previous to that. So we want to know, this is going to be your last chance to have any input in a say in how this goes forward. We can't grow unless we have 2 services. We have 192 chairs in the sanctuary. And for some of you, you might not know, but prior to the pandemic, we had 2 services, a 9 o'clock and 11. And we averaged between those 2 services about 240 to 260 members coming to service. Right now, there is a challenge with the lack of parking. We might have space in here, but we may not have space out there. We have 75 spots available right now in our parking lot, and we have normally 30 to 50 overflow cars in our neighboring horse farm. Now, some of you might know, and Heather, you might be interested, the horse farm is for sale. So we don't know. We might have limited future access to that parking. As you might have noticed this morning, a fence and a gate went up. It was installed by the City of Boulder, Open Space Mountain Parks, making access to that normal drive-through pretty much inaccessible. Our proposed parking lot will hold 80 cars initially, but we hope to get approval to increase that by another 20 spaces. So please consider how many of us come 1 person per car. Maybe start carpooling because we don't know how soon this is going to go. So if we move to 2 services, it's going to sort of look like this. A 9 o'clock service will be a return to a more contemplative, no live streaming, no children classes. It'll be less music, maybe just piano or a guitar. A longer meditation, same message. The ministers will give the same message at each service. There will be a fellowship which will be a little shorter because we need people to leave, so new people coming in. The 11 o'clock service will pretty much look just like it does now. With fellowship, about an hour, so and the same. Meditation will be a little bit shorter. Not what it is now, but it'll be shorter than the 9 o'clock. So what this all means is we need more volunteers, because if we go to 2 services, it's double the fun. Greeters, fellowship, set up, tear down, clean up, parking monitors, and financially, we need to require an increase in funds to pay for the music, the tech team, staff support, things like that, including the utilities. We'll be here open longer. Okay, as we experienced an increase in attendance, we haven't really experienced an increase in love offerings. Just something to think about. We're going to be resilient. So please fill out the survey and give us any comments. The board and members will be in, sorry, I got a hair on. The board will be in Fellowship Hall to answer any other questions that you might have. And on that note, the nominating committee for board members is looking for those that might be interested. You have to be a voting member, and we do have a job description with us all today. The nominating committee is Judy Strahota, Earl Hauserman, Lisa Tusignant, and Pat Foss. So, or talk to any of the board members. Okay, thank you for your attention.
And to make it easier on you, will the board members stand up real quick so you can know who you're looking for? There you go. Plenty of people to choose from. Thank you, Linda. And one of the requirements to be a voting member, if you're not already, which as Linda referenced, you need to be a voting member to be on the board, is that you have completed the Unity Basics course. So that's coming up starting on February the 16th, and it'll be 4 Sundays, not completely in a row, but 4 Sundays in February and March, and you can find the details. It's after service, so about 11:45 we gather in the conference room, and then at the end of that there's a time for you to have a brief chat with Reverend Sue, just so you can get any other questions answered. So look for details of that in your Thursday email update. And now we also have Prosperity Plus starting soon. So logistically, this is a 10-week experiment, as it says on the slide, in developing an abundance mindset. It'll be Wednesdays. It'll start on January 22nd, 6 to 8 p.m. right here in Foss Hall. And I want to invite up Judy Strahota because she wants to tell us about her experience with Prosperity Plus. Come on up, Judy.
Thank you. I love that Heather said the quote by Eleanor Roosevelt to don't forget to water your dreams. So the Prosperity Plus program was held here in 2014 for the first time, and I was in that program, and so many things that I consciously envisioned came forward for me, and it aligned with the way I had been thinking of the way I lived my life in my youth before adult anxieties crept in and changed and et cetera. So I was doing the practice, and then I drifted, and life changed, and Okay, I'm gonna back up. Okay, so the good things that happened was an employment upgrade and travel to Belize and an artist residency in Paris and many other things. But I drifted from the practice after a couple of years, and I got to feeling like I was bumbling about. Old paradigms and patterns of thinking, just came back. So during a course that was offered here, I was reminded of the visioning practice that I had learned. And I saw how the core beliefs aligned also with my spiritual practice. So returning to this method of noticing without judgment, notice what I'm noticing, notice asking myself what I would love. It catalyzed a beautiful shift in my relationship with myself and my spiritual practice. As I'm more articulate with visioning and loving myself, I've learned to quiet my negative internal voices and turn my longings into dreams that I can visualize and feel. So in the last few years, one of my longings was to re-energize my artist self and to ease out of being a carpenter full-time. I began a successful Airbnb business within my home. I magically found a carpenter apprentice when I really needed one most, as my body had been aging. And when at the last minute I stumbled into a photography course, I said, what would I love? I would love a camera instead of using my phone. And someone from this community beautifully offered me a whole camera kit for $50, which was wonderful. And when that course didn't do it for me, I kept asking, what would I love? And I discovered a wonderful mentor who has become a dear friend. And I remember, all is possible when I remember who I am. So the beautiful thing about this program and the methods, it brings our spiritual nature to the forefront. The difference for me now is that I'm learning to align my longings and passion with my spiritual being. And the larger gift in actualizing your prosperity and abundance is who you become in that process. So Heather said, don't do it alone. The beautiful thing about doing this prosperity program here at Columbine is doing it as a group. And I love that energy flows where attention goes. And when we do it as a group, we learn more about each other and ourselves. And rising tides lift all boats.
Thank you, Judy. And then again, just one more logistical note about the Prosperity Plus course is that ideally we seek 15 participants. The synergy really works beautifully with that number or a few more. Right now we're at 11, and we would love to have a few more people join. So if you're on the fence, speak to Judy, speak to Reverend Sue, ask other people, have you taken this course, and what did it bring for you? So was there anything else I needed to say about that, Sue? Okay, thank you. And thanks again, Judy and Linda. So, and somehow I missed seeing a slide for First Friday is coming up with Rebecca Abraxas. So details about that are in your Thursday email update. And who are our prayer chaplains for today? Sue and Lena. Thank you so much. And Healing Circle is today. Speak to Lena about that if you have questions. And let's all clear out kind of quickly and do our visiting in Foss Hall so the prayer chaplains can have a little bit of quiet in here. So thank you, and let's stand for our peace song and prayer for protection. And it's a little bit different peace song, so watch the screen.
Love is all